the fair, we meet up with the man who has just been awarded this year's German Book Prize.
One might say that Eugen Ruge is a bit of a late developer. He spent years working as a mathematician and writing for the theater until at the age of 57 he published his debut novel. In Zeiten des abnehmenden Lichts, In Times of Fading Light, promptly scooped the 2011 German Book Prize. Congratulations. How do you feel about all the attention?
I'd say I feel fairly normal, but it's work, and work that doesn't necessarily produce results. When you write, you produce a page or at least half of one, and that's something. But after this, I'll just go home or back to the hotel, and it's all not really tangible.
Ruge's novel tells the story of his own family. It's a saga that spans several generations set in communist East Germany. It begins in the 1950s, with an idealistic couple returning from exile in Mexico to help build a socialist state. Their son knuckles down and accepts his lot in the communist system, despite experiencing the trauma of a Russian work camp. His children and their children reject the East German dictatorship.
I neither judge nor defend anyone. I just tell a story. I describe my characters and weave them into the narrative and let them do the talking. There's no omniscient authorial voice. My authorial gaze is a gentle one. I'd say I kept my distance.
Eugen Ruge's narrative tells of the birth and death of communist East Germany. But it steers clear of all the usual milestones. The building of the Berlin Wall and its fall are not dealt with directly, but the effect they had on the family's fortunes is nonetheless powerfully conveyed. What made you choose this form of narrative?
For a start, because the media is saturated with certain historical events. There have been so many documentaries, eyewitness accounts, and so on, that I can't really take it anymore. My goal wasn't to paint an objective picture of history. And at the back of my mind was probably the cunning thought that the readers could fill in the blanks themselves.
They seem happy to do so. The foreign rights have been sold to publishers across Europe and in the US. A milestone in Ruge's own biography was his defection to the West in 1988. What did the fall of the Berlin Wall 1 year later mean to you?
Absurdly, I was annoyed in a way because I'd gone to all that trouble. I'd applied for a permit to visit the West and made up an imaginary uncle. Well, the person wasn't imaginary, but he wasn't my uncle, and I was afraid the secret police would find that out and so on. But then I packed my suitcase and left. I left a life behind the way you do if you get divorced, only worse, because the door shut for good. It was a painful process. But then suddenly, there was this big bang, and the wall was gone. I was absurdly angry that it was so easy for the other 17 million East Germans. But of course, that subsided.
You've just published your debut novel at the age of 57 and won a major literary prize. What are you going to do next?
Life will go on much as it has done up to now. I have ideas, and I worry about whether I'll be able to find the right form to express them. That's what has preoccupied me for the last 20 years and will continue to do so for a while longer. These worries unsettle me a little. If I manage to capture even some of my ideas in words, then I'll be happy. I'll be satisfied.
I wish you the best of luck. Many thanks.